Okay, let's talk about Valentine's week. You know, for some people, it's the absolute peak of romance. For others, it's just a whole week of intense pressure. But in 2026, things are really changing. The rules are being rewritten. From stuff like hardballing to something called love luring, we are going to break down the brand new playbook for all 8 days of love. All right, let's just get this out of the way first. Every single February, it feels like this giant capitalist claw of romance just grabs a hold of all of us, right? There's pressure to buy the right thing, to post the perfect picture, to perform. But you know what? The real story for 2026 isn't the pressure itself. It's about how people are getting super creative and kind of pushing back, rewriting the script on their own terms. And to make things even more interesting, in 2026, the stakes are, well, they're higher. Valentine's Day lands on a Saturday. Yeah, that means no work excuses, no early alarms. It's just a full 24 hours for grand gestures and, let's be real, those picture-perfect, Instagrammable moments. So a little planning is probably going to go a very long way this year.
So, to navigate all this, you're going to need a roadmap. Let's break down the traditional 8-day schedule, because this really sets the stage for the big day itself.
Okay, so here's the classic lineup. It all starts pretty gently with Rose Day, but then the intensity builds, right? You've got confessions on Propose Day, treats on Chocolate Day, and something cute and comforting on Teddy Day. Then, the second half of the week gets way more intimate. We're talking promises, hugs, and kisses, all leading up to the main event. You can almost think of it as this carefully planned emotional buildup, all crammed into just 8 days.
But this is where 2026 gets really interesting. Tradition is getting a serious modern makeover. Rose Day isn't just about romance anymore. Giving yellow roses to friends is becoming just as important. Propose Day is moving away from those big public spectacles and more toward these quiet, intimate micro-proposals. And Valentine's Day itself? It's becoming more home-centric, valuing a cool shared experience over some crowded, overpriced restaurant. Now, to really understand the 2026 dating landscape, you've got to speak the language. Seriously. Modern dating has a whole new dictionary that basically defines how people are connecting these days. First up, hardballing. In a world of just endless swiping, this is the ultimate time saver. It's all about being radically, brutally honest about your expectations right from the very first conversation. No more guessing games, no more what are we, it's just clear intentions, so nobody wastes their emotional energy. Next, we have love luring, and this one might be one of the biggest mindset shifts in dating. It's this idea of going on a date just for the plot. The pressure for some perfect, magical connection is completely off. A terrible date isn't a failure anymore, it's just an amazing story you get to tell your friends later. It's great lore. And that brings us to a huge new priority in dating: chemistry. You know that spark you just can't define on a profile? It's when someone's charisma, their riz, creates this totally unexpected chemical reaction. It's a huge reminder to look beyond your usual type on paper and just stay open to a connection that feels right.
And finally, there's green dating. This is where your personal values and romance really start to overlap. It's all about planning dates that are kind to the planet, like hiking or visiting a botanical garden, or even just shopping for a new plant together. It really shows that having shared principles can be a super powerful foundation for a relationship.
So, okay, we've gone past the new vocabulary, but what's happening psychologically? Let's look beyond all the flowers and chocolates for a second to really understand the emotional engine that's driving this entire week. You know, as relationship expert Dr. Krishna Athal puts it, this week is basically a trigger machine. It takes all the hopes, all the fears, all the expectations of a relationship and just crams them into a few days. So for someone who's anxiously attached, a delayed text can feel like a total rejection. And for someone who's more avoidant, all that pressure can feel absolutely suffocating. This massive shift towards authenticity is just perfectly captured in how Promise Day has evolved. The focus is moving away from those huge, cliché promises like, "I'll give you the world," and instead toward these small, tangible commitments. Promising to actually listen to your partner's long work stories, or letting them have the remote on Fridays. These are the low-stakes promises that build real, actual, everyday trust. And this desire for what's real is totally revolutionizing gift-giving too. Clichés are out. People now want experiences over things, so think concert tickets instead of a boring box of chocolates. Personalization is everything, like jewelry engraved with the coordinates of where you first met.
And here's a pro tip for 2026. Never, ever underestimate the power of getting a gift for your partner's pet. Seriously, it's a legitimate love language now.
But what happens when that romantic haze finally clears? Well, for anyone who's single, or maybe recently heartbroken, or just a little cynical, there's this hilarious counter-narrative that pops up: the anti-Valentine week.
So starting immediately, like on February 15th, the anti-Valentine week kicks off. Look, it's mostly an online tongue-in-cheek thing designed to help everyone decompress from all that romantic pressure. Days like Slap Day and Kick Day are not meant to be taken literally, of course. They're basically prompts for memes and jokes, a way for everyone who's single, cynical, or just sick of hearts and flowers to have a good laugh together.
But really, when you strip away all the trends, the memes, the commercialism, what's the core takeaway here? It's this. In a dating world that is so full of noise, the ultimate flex isn't some expensive gift or a perfect Instagram post. It's just being a consistent, honest, and caring partner. That's the stuff that truly matters. So that really just leaves us with one final thought. If you strip away all the pressure and all the expectations, what's actually left? Forget the grand gestures for a second, whether it's to a partner or a friend or, hey, even to yourself. What's the most meaningful promise you can make this year?